I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. The proof is in the pudding. I'm filming it. It's happening. Now you might be wondering. What is it, Layla, that you are... I fixed it. Now you might be wondering, what is it, Layla, that you're doing? I'm starting the booktube. The booktube that I've wanted to do since I was 15, okay? I discovered booktube in 2016, started following all these booktubers, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to read books because I'm already doing that, and I want to make videos about it, but I never did because I have social anxiety. But I'm an adult, okay? I am 19 days away from being 22 in my Taylor Swift era. I have to. At this point, I've just been procrastinating it, you know? I'm a chronic procrastinator. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm procrastinating making dinner and reading my book to make this video and start a booktube. And I'm procrastinating doing my laundry and all of my chores by making this video. That's what I'm gonna do today. It's going to be my top reads. I think I'm gonna do my top 5 for this year so far. I set a goal for myself. I wanted to read 50 books this year. I went through a big, not necessarily reading slump, because I just kind of completely stopped reading during my senior year of high school, and I didn't continue or start reading again until this last year and a half. I was really busy with college. Life caught up with me. I moved to Florida. I dropped out of school. I came back. I went back into school, dropped out of school again. So life just kind of hit me like a brick, and I didn't put in the time and effort to read again, and that really bummed me out because reading and writing was my escape. It was my thing. They were my favorite hobbies. It's all I did. And if you knew me in high school, which I hope none of you are watching this, I wrote and I read all the time. It's all I did. It's all I cared about other than choir. And I just stopped doing it. And I didn't realize how much I'd missed it and how happy it made me until I started reading again last year. So I set a goal for myself. Last year, I think I read 20 books. This year, I set a goal for myself. I wanted to read 50 by the end of the year. We are a little over halfway through 2023, and I am at 28 books, I believe. And that is a really exciting number for me personally, since it's been so long since I've been really reading at a normal pace, or I guess like a consistent rate. There have been months where I've read 7 books, months where I've read 2. I try really hard not to be down on myself for not reading as much as I would like to in a month, because I am getting back into it. But I have read some really, really good books this year, and I think I'm just gonna start with my top 5. That's the easiest for me. I also want to mention, this is I just moved into a new apartment. This is my library. This whole room is my room, and it's gonna be my library. I have no furniture. I have no furniture in my house. We have a couch. That's it. We have no chairs, no bar stools. I have nothing to sit on. So I'm standing up in front of my window. I'll show you my setup if I can avoid showing you my pants. Anyways, this is my library. It's got no furniture. This is my setup. I have my camera sitting right here. I've got my coffee here, books. I've got my little other cup that's holding my window back, my iPad so that I can read off my Goodreads. And other than that, I have no furniture. Like, there's Harper. Yeah, eventually we're gonna have a bookshelf here, a bookshelf here. We're gonna have a bookshelf underneath this window. There's gonna be a chair over here, a fireplace, a desk. We're gonna have the whole shebang. Okay, I've got my stack of books here, and I'm really hoping that they don't fall off of my shelf. But I think I'm gonna go like 5 to 1, so like my 5th favorite to my number 1 favorite. So I just picked them all out. I've got most of them in physical. I've got one on my Kindle, so I think I'll just put a picture up here when I do all my editing and stuff. Not me spilling coffee everywhere. Okay, in my number 5 slot, The Witcher, The Last Wish. I am a Witcher stan. I love The Witcher. I love the video games. I love the TV show. And I love these books. Let me tell you, I think I left off on Blood of Elves. I think I'm halfway through that one. I loved this book. I have always loved the games. I've been playing them for a really long time. Reading the books, though, you get so much more, and let me tell you, the first season of The Witcher, like, I can't say enough how much I love this show, and R.I.P. Henry Cavill as Geralt. It makes me very sad, but these books, let me tell you, if you are going to not watch The Witcher after Henry Cavill leaves this season, read the books. Read the books, play the games. They are fantastic. This is a 5-star for me. I love this book. Okay, and my number 2 slot is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This one, I know it's a hit or miss for some people. I worked for Walt Disney World back in 2020. So this book series, the Dreamland Billionaire series, I'm on final offer. I love these books. Like this one so far is my favorite. I think Final Offer is going to be my favorite once I finish it. But out of this one and Terms and Conditions, this one is definitely my favorite. I love Zara. I love Rowan. I love the Grumpy Sunshine. I love the office romance. I love all of the Disney like energy, the Disney vibes. This one I think has the most of like the Dreamland parks out of all 3 books, which is what I loved the most. It definitely brought me back to working for Disney. It makes me miss it a lot. I loved these books. I think I will always love these books. I recommend them to a lot of people who are just getting into romance. Anybody who loves Disney, I recommend these to. I can't talk enough about how much I love these books. If only for the fact that they give me like Disney World energy. A 5 out of 5 for me. I love this book. I'm gonna add in here as well, I hope that my reviews slowly get better for things. I will link my Goodreads down below so you can all read my reviews with me and keep up with my reading. I am terrible at reviews, and I just know I'm gonna be terrible at video reviews as well. I haven't wrote anything in a really long time, and I'm getting back into writing and my writing style and taking writing classes, so I really want to incorporate that into my reviews soon, so I can give more detailed explanations of my thoughts for things. So these first few videos are gonna be rough. A lot of my reviews from this year are gonna be rough, but I promise you they're going to get better. Okay, I said I was gonna put a picture of my Kindle read up here, but I actually have my iPad with me, so I'm just going to show the picture because why not? So my 3rd slot is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I I loved this book. I will say the first probably 10 to 13 chapters were really slow, hard for me to get into. It did take me a few weeks to finish this book. I'm a fairly quick reader, especially if I'm really enjoying the book. So this one was really slow for me to get into. I think that that being said, I think the first half of the book is honestly a little bit better than the second half of the book. If only because you get much more storyline and background from Iris in this like first part of it. Plus you get the banter with Roman. There's a lot of like, oh my gosh, did that really happen? In like the first half, some really tragic stuff. But in the second half, that's when I like really grasped this book, and I started reading it at about 30% probably at 10 o'clock at night. I finished the book by 2 a.m. And at 2 a.m. I posted my Goodreads review, crying my eyes out. I stayed up for another half hour just thinking about it. I couldn't, it was tragic and beautiful. And this is probably the first, that's not true. This is one of the few YA books that I've read this year. I've definitely grown out of the YA genre and I'm more into the new adult style. I still love YA, it just doesn't catch my interest as often. But Divine Rivals, I absolutely loved this book. I loved Roman and Iris. The banter was good. Magic typewriters, that is so smart and it is fantastic. I loved it. The banter was good. I love, and it rivals to lovers styles. It was beautiful. The war, I think there was a few things Rebecca definitely could have done without, could have done a little bit differently. But again, I think that for a lot of books, the ending did feel a little bit rushed. I will say the last 5 or so chapters I think could have been done a lot differently. I think it could have been a little bit longer to add some more necessary details towards the end. There was a lot of like, oh my god, why did that happen? That didn't feel natural. But honestly, just for the vibes of this book, and I think I say that in my Goodreads review, the vibes alone is what made this a 5-star for me. I'm gonna say all of these books are 5 stars for me. I love Divine Rivals. One of my favorites for sure. In my number 2 slot, I think I said, no, yeah, my number 2, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Folk of the Air. I read, the first Holly Black book I ever read was The Darkest Part of the Forest. That was the first Holly Black book I had read, and I didn't finish it. I didn't DNF it. I just kind of forgot it existed. I do that often with books that I'm not like super into. I stop reading it, forget that I was reading it, and then start a new book. I really liked her writing style, but it was definitely a new sort of style for me at the time, and I just couldn't get into it. So when I started Cruel Prince, I didn't realize it was the same author until about 30% into this one. Let me tell you, I started this in audiobook. I want to be an audiobook girly, and I'm not. I can't stand certain narrators. The narrator for this series being one. So I finished it in paper copy, but dude, I flew through this book. I absolutely ate this up. Jude Carden, excuse me? And let me tell you, this is gonna be a controversial opinion. Actually, it might not be that controversial of an opinion. I hate her sister. I straight up hate her. Like, I'm only a little bit into, I think the second one's The Wicked King. I'm only a little bit into that one so far. I really hope her sister gets better, but I freaking hate her sister. And I really, really hope she gets better. But I adored this book. The fae in this book, the way Holly writes her fae and her world building is so fun and so interesting. And it's so much different from the way a lot of new fae have been written. Fae's been around for a good while. One of my favorite booktubers, the Book Leo, she did a whole video on fae in the last like 10 years and like how it is grown. The way she writes her fae, beautiful. I love that they're like dangerous and gritty and dirty and not just like beautiful fairies. They're mean and they're bad, and I love it so much. I love Jude. I love her character. I love her character like arc and her being this badass like, I'm human and you guys hate me and I'm gonna fuel everything by rage. And I love Jude so much. I'm very excited to read the rest of the series. I get so distracted. And I'll start one and then I'll stop reading it because something happens in life. And instead of going back to that series, I will start something new. And I'm really bad about it. I had the other two books, The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing, at my office at work, hoping that on like breaks I would read them, but I never do because I just come home for break and take my dog on a walk. So I really am. I just brought them home today. I'm finishing my current read, which is Six of Crows. And once I finish that, I am going to finish reading these books because I have been seeing The Cruel Prince and the Folk of Air series all over my Twitter. It's all I can think about lately other than like Fourth Wing. I'm going to finish them, but I loved this book. Total number 2 for this year. For my number 1 read of this year, it's not really one book, it's two books. I'm counting it as one because it's a series. It's Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I love these books so much. I think about them at least once a week. I talk about them at least once a week. I recommend them to everybody I know. If you read books, I've recommended these books. If you don't read books, I've still recommended these books. I had my coworker at work start reading them. I'm gonna bring it up in my work book club because one book club wasn't enough. I had to join 2. Dude, I can go on a tangent about how much I loved these books, but I cannot do it justice. I freaking love these books. These were the first Leigh Bardugo books that I've ever read. I was not a Shadow and Bones girly. I never got into Six of Crows. Again, I stopped reading, so like all of these popular books I've never read. I'm just getting into reading them all. So this was our first book in book club. And let me tell you, I got sucked in. Like, it's dark and gritty, and Leigh's writing style is so beautiful and she's so descriptive. It's like watching a movie in your head as writing or reading should be. She's just so descriptive. Like, this is the first book I've ever annotated. I am absolutely obsessed with this book. I have 2 copies of it. I ruined one copy of it, my first copy, by accident because I tried to press flowers into it. Destroyed it. Bought a new one immediately, re-annotated it. It's even prettier than before. I even have my little like tabs. So cute. I love this book. The way Leigh wrote her magic system for this book as well is so interesting to me because the magic is not in your face, just like everybody has magic. It's secret societies and it's dark and it's gritty and it's like the first dark academia book I've ever read as well. It's rituals and magic comes with a price, and it's amazing. The romance in this book is so subtle, even more so than The Cruel Prince, and that romance, super subtle. The romance in here, you get a grain of rice every 150 pages, but that grain of rice, you eat it up. You eat it up because it's so good. Darlington has my heart. If I have a book boyfriend, it's Darlington. It is The Gentleman of Leith. I cannot talk about how much I love this book enough, and I wish that I could do it justice. I know that I can't. I love this book. I love this book. Hellbent is just as good. You get way more hellscape in the second book. You get a lot more Darlington in the second book. I also annotated this one. Dude, and plus, how gorgeous is that? Like, that is the most stunning thing I have ever seen. That's it. That's it for me. Nothing is going to beat these books for me this year. Like, I'm reading Six of Crows right now by Leigh Bardugo, and I love it. It will not beat these for me. Fourth Wing might be a contender because I love dragons. Fourth Wing might be a contender. But I'll update you in 6 months, but I genuinely don't think anything this year is going to beat these books for me. They're so good. They're so good. If you are on the fence about reading Ninth House, this is your sign to go read Ninth House right now. Right now. What are you still doing here? Go read Ninth House. It's that good. Okay, guys, I went off on a little tangent there. Unable to speak, literally speechless, but my book rating so far, my top 5, I'm gonna put them right here. I'm gonna somehow edit them in here. My top 5 books in order. And this was fun. This was a good time. I don't know why I waited so long to make one of these. I love talking. It's my ADHD. Duh. I also love that I feel social anxiety while filming this, because of course I do. It's funny because the whole time I've been filming this, in my head I'm like, wow, I'm really annoying. Nobody's gonna enjoy these videos, but I'm enjoying making it. And I'm genuinely having a good time talking about books that I love. And I'm gonna keep doing it, I think. I made this mostly to procrastinate my chores, but I think I'm gonna keep doing it. Maybe I'll film something tomorrow. Maybe I'll film something next week. I'm stealing my sister's camera this weekend. Maybe I'll use her actual camera and not my iPhone, because that's what I'm filming on right now. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely don't know if I'm gonna keep making these. I really want to. I think I'm going to. I'm active on book Twitter. I'm active on Bookstagram. I have a book Discord that I'm in and I run that I just started, mostly for book Twitter, but it's pretty much just it's a book Discord for anybody who likes to talk about books and writing. Also, shout out to Katie at Life Wayward for even being the reason I have the confidence to, bless you, to post this and film this, because she really is an inspiration to me to do things that I have always wanted to do, even if it's kind of scary. And also for her book club, which is the reason I have read so many good books this year, like Ninth House and Hellbent and Divine Rivals. It is such a fun space to be able to talk to all those girlies who also read and also enjoy the same things, and they can just talk to about like the books we're reading, and it's such a fun space. Katie is such a fun person to talk to and to be involved with, and her book club is probably the most fun I've had this year. So again, shout out to Katie. Hey guys, it's editing Layla. I'm currently editing my my video. And I realized long after being done filming that it didn't film my outro where I explained certain things. So I'm just gonna do it now. I'm going to post my Bookstagram, my book Twitter, my book talk, which I'm not very active on, but I'm going to try and be. My Goodreads, pretty much any social media that has a book community I'm involved in. I'll also post a link to my Discord down below. All of my tags is Layla's Reads. I will add them all in the description below. Feel free to join my Discord if you want to. It's not very active right now. I just made it this week. I'm going to start bumping it on Discord and trying to get more people active in there, so that we have a community of readers and writers. And go ahead and give me a follow if you want to. Subscribe if you feel like it, so you can keep up with my reading, my writing, my little 3 projects that I have. I'm gonna start posting about a little bit more, giving some few details here and there. So yeah, if you feel like it, give me a follow and subscribe and join me on all of my many platforms that I am active on that take up 75% of my day. Anyways, thanks guys, love you, bye.